All right, welcome back to We the People. Let's jump into this. I want to kind of go right into this whole, still going on. Uh, is the media correct? Is the media right? Is the media being fair and honest, or is just the media completely dead? I want to show a video clip. It just came out a few days ago regarding the fake Syria bombing that took place, where ABC News and other people who picked up on that showed this video of supposedly Syria getting bombed by the outskirts of their enemies and coming in. Um, and the interesting thing is that it was shown to be a fake doctored video from a Kentucky gun range that they took that filming clip and kind of re-edited to look like bombing in Syria right after Trump called the troops out. So that was interesting because there was no apology for this. The media did not come out and explain how this happened. There was no follow-up investigation. There was no pre-investigation if this video was even original to begin with before airing it to millions and millions of people. And this is my problem. Again, this is where I have the problem. We can both dislike President Trump personally, or you might like him even hate him even more than myself. I don't hate the guy. I mean, I don't like him personally from before he was president. Business wise, to me was a typical regular, business billionaire with like every company billionaire out there. There is going to be some questionable things about their practices of how they made their money throughout their lifetime. That's a given. But as president, I have no problem with the guy. I might not like the way the way he talks a lot of times, or he just lays it out there, but that's typical for being not a politician. He's a businessman, so I expected that. But here's the problem. The fairness that's not involved in this is just crazy to me. Think about this. You have a media like ABC News who will post a fake video without even checking it to make sure that it was correct and even non-doctored, and it turns out to be a fake doctored video. They showed it to millions of people as if this bombing took place. Serious problems with that. Serious problems. This is why I have problems believing anything nowadays with the media reports. We talked last time about the Ukraine phone call, so I decided to do a social experiment on one of the social media platforms. I went into a discussion with a number of people regarding the Ukraine phone call. And it was no surprise to me that 100% of the people who hate Trump and want him out, all they did was quote the news about Trump asking to investigate Biden or he's going to withhold aid. That is a quid pro quo. That in the phone call, do me a favor, you need to investigate the Bidens, or else I'm not going to release the aid. That is what pretty much every single person stated on there regarding this situation, as reported by the media. Not looking at the phone transcript itself, which I had, and we looked at it the last time, where none of that stuff. So I engaged them. I said, where in the transcript does it say that? Where does it say that do me a favor, go investigate the Bidens? Funny thing is, all they kept saying is, don't you read, or can't you read it for yourself? Didn't you hear it? It was reported, blah, blah, blah. I'm like thinking to myself, are you serious here? Can I read? So I decided to post that section, that paragraph where it says, do me a favor, into the conversation. I said, show me on this conversation where it states it. Just highlight it for me. Nobody was able to do that. And even a person, this is funny. Even an individual tried to repost it and say, it's right there, read it. And he posts the wrong page. He posts his page 1. And I'm like, I typed in, there's no mention of Biden or do me a favor in that posting you just did. That's page 1. It's not there. Where is it? Then he posts again, page 2. I believe it was page 2. Let me clarify. He might have posted the same page I did. Yeah. Then he posted the same one that I posted. And he says, it's right there. Read it for yourself. Are you blind? Blah, blah, blah. And he started attacking me personally. I said, so I looked at it and says, I don't see it. It's still not there. Biden's not mentioned anywhere on that page. Are you sure you can read? Because he was just posting the pages and not even highlighting the area where supposedly it was do me a favor, look into Biden. Even another person chimed in out of the number of people who were against me. One other person chimed in and said, hey, so-and-so, Biden's not mentioned in any of those pages you posted. You might want to read it for yourself, which I thought was kind of interesting. So this person never responded back, never posted it. These people don't even read it. They look for it online, find it, and then just post it as if it's right there. Do me a favor, investigate Biden. Now, we looked at that before. Couple things we did on my last broadcast was that one, we pointed out that aid was not mentioned in that conversation. There was no aid talked about any aid being withheld or anything. In fact, it was talking about the repurchasing of those certain types of missiles, and then Trump goes in to do me a favor and talks about the server CrowdStrike and those things in that area of looking into those from 2016. Biden's never mentioned there. Then you go on a few paragraphs down. After the other conversations about certain things and getting into discussion and conversation, then he mentions the other thing. And the other thing was, of course, as we've talked about, the other thing was the prosecution being fired by Biden because Biden threatened to hold money from Ukraine if they weren't going to, fire that certain prosecutor that he wanted to fire within 6 hours. Now, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares that Biden did that. This is a presidential candidate who threatened Ukraine of holding back money if they don't fire a specific prosecutor who was at that time looking into Burisma, the Ukraine company where Biden's son was on the board.
I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a got fired. And
nobody cares about that. It seems that the media does not care that this was going on. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, this just blows me away. So these people on social media had no clue about this. Zero. Yet they are just repeating and barfing up the same nonsense that these other news agencies like CNN, MSNBC, and all these other people, MSNBC, and these other nonsense, ABC News, are just barfing up. Now, just like that bombing that took place, which I want to show you a clip real quick of what was done on this, what was showed on ABC News, and show you how it was fake and doctored from other people who came in and said this is not real, and they took it down in a post that they said, oh, we have removed that link. So take a look at this bombing, and you tell me, is this a fair, accurate, and reliable news network who all they care about is hating Trump? Take a look.
The video in question first appeared on ABC's Sunday evening broadcast.
This video right here appearing to show Turkey's military bombing Kurd civilians in a Syrian border town.
Compounding the error, Tom Yamis then tossed to foreign correspondent Ian Pennell, who voiced over the same video.
This video, obtained by ABC News, appears to show the fury of the Turkish attack on the border town of Tal Abyad 2 nights ago.
Almost immediately, the website Gizmodo reported that Twitter users were comparing the ABC video to YouTube video from a Kentucky gun range. The ABC video also appeared to have been altered. Shortly after it aired again on Good Morning America, ABC issued a statement saying, "We've taken down video that aired on World News Tonight Sunday and Good Morning America this morning that appeared to be from the Syrian border immediately after questions were raised about its accuracy. ABC News regrets the error."
So what do you think? You honestly believe that we can trust the media and a lot of the stuff? If they weren't caught by other people doing the research, they would keep pushing that same narrative of this bombing, thinking that it was real. If they didn't do it themselves and photo edit it or not photo, but video edit it to fit their narrative. It took other people like you and I to do our own research, investigate, and say, why should we have to investigate the media? This is the sad part, though. We now have to fact check the media itself. This is why I said earlier, the media is dead. We have to fact check the media. This is ridiculous. On the phone transcripts, because they conflate two passages or two paragraphs of do me a favor, look into Biden. And yet they're miles apart on the transcript. They aren't even connected. The do me a favor isn't even connected to anything with looking into Biden. It's the other thing. Paragraphs later. Yet everyone just buys into it. We have to now investigate the media, which we never had to do, as I stated earlier in my other shows, from the 70s, 80s, and all that, this badly, as far as having to fact check them. That's why it's our responsibility now to have to go back and fact check the media to determine, are they being honest with us? Here's the other thing I want to point out that most people are ignorant on. They don't do their homework. They don't check this out. Let's hypothetically pretend that Trump did ask Ukraine president to, hey, I need you to look into Biden and this whole situation that happened with the prosecutor and just do us a favor type of mentality, or suggesting it in a way that people might thought, well, he's asking to interfere in the foreign elections. Let's just say that's a given for you people. All right. And that's in that same scenario that they're posting out there, which it isn't. But let's just say I'm holding in my hand the Ukraine Treaty Act in 1999 signed by Bill Clinton himself regarding how we are to work with Ukraine in criminal matters. This you can find online. All this stuff is available online. You can print it out and find it out for yourself. This is not that difficult. If you really want to know the truth, instead of just barfing up nonsense from a crooked media source and outlets. Here's what it says. And this is from the President of the United States. And again, the treaty with Ukraine on mutual legal assistance in criminal matters is the topic. In 1999, signed off. Here's what it says. Here's where we need to understand, focus what that Trump could ask Ukraine for help looking into criminal matters, in any respect that he wants. Here's what this treaty gives us as the United States and as the president to do. This treaty is self-executing. It provides for a broad range of cooperation in criminal matters. Mutual assistance available under the treaty includes taking of testimony or statements of persons, providing documents, records, and articles of evidence, serving documents, locating or identifying persons, transferring persons in custody for testimony or other purposes, executing requests for searches and seizures, assisting in proceeding related to restraint, confiscations, forfeiture of assets, restitution, and collections of fines, and any other form of assistance not prohibited by the laws of the requested state. So this is interesting because we're allowed to ask for this stuff from Ukraine: documents, records, locating or identifying persons. There's no question that we have a treaty and a signed document by the Democratic Party, Bill Clinton, to ask if we want it. So if Trump wanted to say, hey, this whole thing had happened in 2015, 16, all that with Biden, threatening to withhold our money if they don't fire somebody, which is, to me, should be headline news, because this is a presidential candidate who organized this whole Ukraine thing and was in charge of it during his vice presidency. He was oversight of Ukraine with his son on a board of a very well-established crooked company, yet his son gets on there and nobody says anything. Nobody wants to say, hey, why was that? Yeah, we wanted to be president? Okay, that makes no sense. So here's the other part of this treaty with Ukraine. The treaty covers mutual legal assistance in criminal matters. The treaty with Ukraine contains all essential provisions sought by the United States. The treaty is designed to be self-executing and will not require new legislation. Plain English. We could ask Ukraine for anything of any kind of criminal investigation to help or assist us in any way we need. Documents, research, persons, individuals, anything in that fashion that we feel that there might be a criminal act or needed of a criminal investigation. This is ridiculous that now we want to impeach the president for even executing what is on a legal document signed by Clinton, a Democrat, about our relation with Ukraine and looking into these matters. So now we want to, for all those who say, well, he wants to dig up dirt, though, on a presidential candidate, and that should not be allowed. Well, that shouldn't be allowed, huh? It hasn't been done before. That's not what I believe Trump did at all. Let me make this clear. He's asking about something that happened in the past, not the present, or looking for something now. And this was actually done before even Biden called out himself to be a candidate. Okay, so this was taking place before even Biden stepped into the race. And now that he stepped into the race, there's supposed to be immunity to him, that he's supposed to be exempt from being looked at for what he did before, even though it was already happening. They were already looking into him before. So Trump can't say, hey, oh no. So Trump's supposed to say, oh, well, close all investigations on Biden. We can't, he's a presidential candidate. We can no longer, this open investigation has to be closed. Nonsense. We have the right to know the truth. So let's take a look at Politico. Politico is not, a Republican support Trump type of reporting. They're the opposite. So this is no surprise. But here's the headline. Ukraine efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. What does that mean? You actually go look this up on Politico yourself as well. That's the headline. Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. Well, this ought to be interesting. What does it say? Here's a paragraph, the opening. Donald Trump wasn't the only presidential candidate whose campaign was boosted by officials of a former Soviet bloc country. Ukrainian government officials tried to help Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump by publicly questioning his fitness for office. They also disseminated documents implicating a top Trump aide in corruption and suggested they were investigating the matter, only to back away after the election. And they helped Clinton allies research damaging information on Trump and his advisors, a political investigation found. They helped Clinton allies research damaging information on Trump and his advisors. Wow. Where's the investigations? Where's the outrage? They were doing, yet that's ignored and whatever. And so I'm supposed to trust what they found and what they said? There's even a recording of the president of the Anti-Corruption Act or the anti-corruption company in Ukraine who's supposed to be anti-corruption. The president of that agency, he was caught on tape actually saying that they were trying to help Hillary to win and that they're better off with Trump. He was caught on tape. And then they were prosecuted in Ukraine, 2 men, including him, for interfering in the elections of 2016. They were prosecuted, I think last year in 2018, maybe 17, but these 18. It's online. Go look it up. He was caught. And when I say he was caught lying, I mean he was, for what he was supposed to be doing, anti-corruption. He was caught lying about being anti-corruption and going against it when he was actually working with them and the DNC and Hillary Clinton's favor to get her elected. He admitted it on tape. They caught him on tape when he was relaxing with his family. Let's play the tape and you tell me if this is a problem.
Speaker you're going to hear is Director Sitnik, and this is what he said. Listen.
Я думаю, що так. Я ж йому теж не йому, а Хіларі допомагав.
Тоді ви там трошки шатнули, да.
Ні, це так пишуть.
Ну, мені кажуть, що Хіларі погано було, не дуже.
Wow, Clinton Foundation.
Ну, я наскільки пам'ятаю, ви говорили, що для нас навіть не було ближче Хіларі.
Ні, Трамп же ж він чисто, в нього внутрішні питання домінують над зовнішніми. А Хіларі це, це із тих політиків, що вони гегемонія Америки в світі. Для нас це так лучше. А для американців лучше так, це те, що Трамп робить.
На зараз ці американські спецовці, це баба, мужик.
Ми ж оприлюднили здання про Манафорта, якого посадили. Манафорт ж був керівник цього виборчого штабу Трампа. Його ж тоді це сторонили час, в тому числі за те, що проходили початку бухгалтерію, посадили там на штабу 80 років позбавили. І при Трампа барабан, тому що у них система працює чітко.
Система хороша.
І коли це були вибори, за неділю до виборів, FBI поновив розслідування відносно Хіларі. У неї рейтинг упав на 7%, і Трамп натяжко переміг. Я так не можу зрозуміти, що Трамп воює з FBI і кажуть, що мене доганяють. Якби не FBI, то він би не був президентом. Вони Хіларі погасили рейтинг на 7%.
Wow, that seems pretty kind of wow.
So why aren't people shocked about this? Why isn't this being put out there in the media? This person was prosecuted. If you try to Google it, you're gonna have a hard time finding it because apparently in the Google search engine it's not even in high importance. But two men, including that person you just heard on the tape, was prosecuted for that very reason, for interfering with the election on Hillary's behalf. Politico reported it. We have the Ukraine Treaty Act. Okay, we have the classified. Where is all this proof for this impeachment inquiry? I'm sorry, but this is very frustrating to someone like yourself who pays our well, for myself, paying my taxes to go to this our own corrupt government that pushes this narrative forward for the media, so that they could put out false lies, accusations, false bombings. Don't report the real news for both sides fairly. You want to report on Trump, investigate him, fine, go ahead. But do it on the other side too. Look at this. Look at what happened in 2016 election. What led to the Trump-Russia collusion, which went for 2.5 years of our wasted money. Look into why that started, which Barr is, and I hope Barr comes out soon with the report, because I think that they're doing it accurately and correctly and finding this stuff out, and I think people are gonna be shocked, and of course they're gonna deny it. Oh, Barr is Trump's puppet, and yeah, of course, there's always an excuse when it's on the other side because nobody wants Trump in the office again. But they are pushing Trump to be reelected. And you know what? I personally don't care if he's not or he is. Yes, I like the way the economy is going. Yes, I like the unemployment at an all-time low for all ethnic groups, and the markets are doing great under this president. I enjoy that. We're not talking personally about the president. We're talking about what's happening in our United States economically and everything else. I'm happy with it. If he gets another 4 years, he gets 4 years. I don't have to listen to his rhetoric to enjoy what's going on. Anybody could turn off the TV, turn off the channel, let it go. But again, stop pushing lies about the president. Just vote him out of office. If you don't like him, vote. That's what voting's for, not to make up fake criminal charges to try and impeach him because you don't like him, because he won't work with you and do what you want because he's not a politician. We need to stop. People need to rise up and question and put this out there and say, enough is enough. My money is not going to help fund your, impeachment nonsense. So, but this is what we have. I talk to people on social media. They have no clue of this. Just barfing up the same old, same old. But again, please, if you like this, please subscribe. I'm doing this on my own dime. I don't take money from anybody. This is for me. I have a number of businesses that I own and companies, and I have no problem funding this all on my own, doing this on my own time. It helps me to, get out some of this frustration when I see this stuff and wonder where is the news on this. So if you enjoy this, please like it, share it, join in this, We the People post and do your own and let us know what you think. So I want to say thank you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.